What's going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Duel Archives. Today we are going back as far back as we've ever gone in this series. I think before it was like early 2014. Now we're in late 2013. And we're actually covering a ARG Circuit Series Top 8 feature match that was suggested by a comment on the previous episode. There were also a couple other suggestions as well, which I'll be getting to in future episodes. So just a reminder, if you guys have any top cut feature matches from premier events that took place anywhere between, like, I want to say like 2012 and present day, and you want them covered on this series, feel free to drop a comment down below with your suggestion. But today we've got a pretty good one. I can already tell. I have never seen this match before. It is from an ARG Circuit Series, and it is top 8. And we have Billy Brake himself versus the Fraser Smith. So two absolute titans. Two absolute household name legends, and this one is going to be really good. I can already tell just by the decks that they are playing. I believe both of them are on rulers, some form of either Dragoonity rulers or just regular old dragon rulers. Yeah, so this one's going to be really good. And before we get into it, just a quick reminder, subscribe if you haven't already, and also don't forget to check out the ways you can support the channel down in the description. But yeah, let's get into this one. Now, this is, it's hard to tell, like, who's going first or second here because this isn't, like, official coverage from, like, the stream. Because I don't know if they were doing, like, streams for their feature matches back then. So this looks like this was, like, a amateur recording, if you will. I don't know. Or just, like, a third-party recording. So it's hard to tell who's going first here. I don't know if he just drew in pass and he drew a 6 card just there. I'm not sure, but we'll see how this all plays out. I believe Fraser is going to go first here. And I do have these sped up by 1.5 speed. And I'll be trying to pause as little as I possibly can. This is also good for me, too, because this is a format I kind of wish I would have played in, you know, to see the Dragon Rulers and Spellbooks in their prime. But I just kind of missed that from when I started playing. I started playing right as Primal Origin released. So we're going to see him use Title, pitching itself with alongside another Title, which is basically just a Foolish Burial. Dumping the White Stone of Legend to add the Blue Eyes White Dragon from deck to hand. I can only imagine this is for a trade-in engine, or it could just be free discard fodder for Dragon's Ravine, which I do see in his hand. As much as a Mermail player as I am, I love Title. I want it to come back just as much as the next Water player, but it's so good for dragons. It's just a Foolish Burial pitching another dragon or a water with it, which is so incredibly strong. We're going to see him activate Dragon's Ravine. He's going to pitch Tempest to dump another ruler. So right now, he pretty much has almost every ruler. So he's going to summon out the Blaster. And also, for those that don't know, the Dragon Rulers were originally released as rares. And I think they were like $8 a piece, I think. I could be wrong. Someone's probably going to correct me in the comments because the Dragon Ruler format players are always very vocal. I don't know why, but it's just how it is, and no disrespect, but that's just how it goes. So we're gonna see him summon the Blaster by banishing the Tempest and the Blue Eyes. So just again, free fodder, and he'll actually get the search effect off of the Tempest, and then he's gonna use DDR to bring back the Blue Eyes, and he's gonna go in for a level 9 synchro play for Azure Eyes. This is like Blue Eyes before its prime. This is really strange to see. So he's just ending on Azure Eyes and Blaster, and it doesn't look like much, but I mean, he does have a lot of follow-up in the grave. He's gonna go ahead and this is before, wow, this is such a throwback. This is before they changed the rules about how field spells work, because for those that don't know, back in the day, right, I think when I started playing, this rule might have been just getting phased out. I could be wrong. If somebody knows exactly when this rule went into effect, please let me know down in the comments, because I'd love to see when it actually happened. But if player A had a field spell up and player B then played one, player A's field spell would go to the grave. Like, there could only be one field spell in the field. And I remember I hated that because I was playing Malefics, I think, and every time they like played a field spell, the field spell would go away first, and then I think the Malefic would die, and then the new field spell would be played, kind of thing. I don't know. It was weird, but I digress. So we're going to see him activate Terraforming. Ravine's going to replace his opponent's Ravine. He's going to discard Title. This looks familiar, doesn't it? And we'll see what he's going to go ahead and send. He's going to go ahead and check the grave. I mean, Billy Brake is a player that I've kind of, I want to say, followed for a little while. I know Fraser Smith is a great player as well, but one thing I know Billy for specifically is because I played the deck a lot was when he played Infernoids. It was really interesting to watch him play that deck. 60-card Infernoids with Grass. Really be awesome to see a lot of the old school legends come back to the game, like Billy Brake and Patrick Hoban too, and Ben Leverett. Like all those guys come back. It'd be super, super cool. Because I think Jeff Jones still plays. I could be wrong. But it'd be really, really, really cool. And speaking of Jeff Jones, he's on this playmat here, I think. All right, so let's see what he sends here off the Ravine after a hot minute of thinking. And he's going to go ahead and dump a Tempest. And then he's going to go ahead and banish Tempest and Blaster to summon out a Title. And that's going to trigger both of their effects. So when they get banished, they can add, I think, either mini versions of themselves or, yeah, Fire Dragon and Wind Dragon. Okay, so he's going to play another Ravine. Pitch, I got to look this card up. I have no idea what that card is. All right, so I found the card he just added off the Blaster there. It's called Trigon. So basically, I'll read it really quick here. Trigon says, once per turn during your main phase, you can equip this card to a machine-type monster you control as an equip card, or unequip it to special summon this card in attack position. While equipped to a monster, by this effect, the equipped monster destroys opponent's monster by battle. You can reborn a level 4 or lower light monster, machine-type monster from your grave, and that's all it does. It doesn't do anything else, it looks like. Interesting. Maybe just fodder, discard fodder or something, or just banish fodder, because it is a dragon. It's a union, which is weird too. Hold on, I need to rewind here a little bit. So he summons out the Title and plays the Ravine, pitches that Trigon card to go ahead and... Oh, that's why. Okay. He's just using it with the what's it called? I'm forgetting its name. Debris Dragon. Debris Dragon, and it's a level 3 too, so he's going to go ahead and make a level 7, which is going to be Ancient Fairy Dragon, rest in peace. And that's going to go ahead and add his third copy of Ravine here, which is not a hard once per turn. He's going to go ahead and discard... I want to say that's like Dragoonity Corsica or something. I could be totally wrong on that one. I know that card was played for a little while in some ruler builds, or maybe Mythic Ruler. Yeah, it might be Corsica. Hard to tell. The only reason I think they played it because it was a win level 1 tuner for level 8 synchros. So he's going to discard that and dump a Tempest to the grave. So loading up his graveyard quite a bit. I was wondering what he was playing that for, but he just got to search basically Debris Dragon and that Trigon to basically set up a free level 7 synchro. Just by banishing both the Tempest and the Blaster there. And I believe at this point, the Azure Eyes is protecting the board right now for Fraser. Basically says that this card is special until the end of the next turn. Neither player can target dragon monsters you currently control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by card effects, but they can be destroyed by battle, even though Azure Eyes has 3k defense. So nothing Billy has right now will be able to get over that. And also Blaster, having the most attack out of all the dragon rulers, will not be able to clear it either. So yeah, that is Dragoonity Corsica. I was right. Wow, I'm so insane at this game. So he's going to go ahead and banish 2 wins to summon out the Redox, which comes out at 3k defense. And looks like he's going to crash, interestingly, the Title. And go right to the grave. He's just going to go ahead and pass turn as that Tempest, or that Blaster, bounces back of the hand. What is interesting there is no Draco Sack, no nothing, no Big Eye. I would get why Big Eye. I get why Big Eye, because I remember there's things like Big Eye Wars back in the day. Usually the first person that made a Big Eye would lose, because that means, and especially if you didn't kill them with it, like if you made it at the incorrect time, because it means next turn they were going to make a Big Eye, take your Big Eye, and then use your Big Eye to take one of your cards. So that's why you had to be very careful when you decided to summon Big Eye, because it could just very well cost you the game if you did not make the right call when to summon it, if you didn't calculate your resources correctly, or didn't, understand the position that your opponent was in, which also, is a very, very important thing to pay attention to. And with the game being slower, and with like cards in general not being as powerful as they are today, you really had to be very careful with the resources you had. I mean, same, you could argue, still applies today, but I feel like the room for error maybe was a little bit lower back then. I could be wrong. But again, that's just an opinion. So yeah, we're going to see him use Azure Eyes. That's going to revive the Flammable Guard from the grave, which is a nice vanilla level 1 tuner. And we're going to see him summon out the title here, looking to banish possibly that Blue Eyes. Again, coming in very clutch here to just act as free banish fodder. The DDR was also a very cool play too. We're going to see Tempest. When that gets banished, going to add a Wind Dragon. Going to add another copy of Tempest. Yes, the good old pen and paper life points. You love to see it. And I want to see a level 8 Synchro here, but I don't know what that really accomplishes at this point. The Ancient Fairy Dragon is so good. It's so weird to see this card now that it's been banned for so long. Because I believe Destrudo is the card I want to say that got Ancient Fairy Dragon banned because it allowed a lot of Dragon decks to access Ancient Fairy Dragon very, very easily because Destrudo was so insane at making level 7 synchros. I miss Destrudo. I remember I used to play that in Block Dragon BA. Such a good card. We'll see what the move is from here. I mean, he is very low on fodder and grade. Now, all fodder completely gone. And it looks like he is going to commit to a rank 7. Look at the players moving their cards into different zones. Because that is a thing you could do back then. Columns did not matter whatsoever. So, you needed to rearrange the position of your cards. If you were making more plays, that's something you could do. And that's kind of nostalgic. Because back then, like, if you had a really good board, you were popping off, right? You'd have to, like, kind of position your cards to be in the right zone. Or to, you know, make room for everything. Especially on a classic spell ground like this, man. You love to see it. And he looks like he's going to go for the big guy. So let's see if he reads, you know, reads the situation right here. Is going for the big eye correct. So he is going to take the Ancient Fairy. And that is going to go as he goes ahead and uses Ancient Fairy Dragon's effect to, I think, I have to read Ancient Fairy Dragon here. I just want to double check. I know it searches a field spell, but exactly how, I'm not entirely sure. Once per turn, you can special summon a level 4 lower monster from your hand. You cannot contact your battle phase turn after this effect. Once per turn, you can destroy as many field spells as possible. And you do gain 1,000 life points, and you can add a field spell. Okay, so he just popped Billy's, gained 1,000, and then added his own Ravine. Dragon Ravine. It's crazy. No wonder this card was at 1 for a long time, and now I think it's at 3, which is really cool. Especially now that Dragon Link decks can search it, and Dragon still being a good deck. Look at this, folks. Dragon still being a good deck this many years later. I find that hilarious. So he's like, all right, I got your Ancient Fairy Dragon, and I'm going to go ahead and plus off of it, basically, is what he's going to do. Taking the Ravine, dumping a card to the grave. And it looks like he dumped a Redox because he discarded the Tempest that he added off the other Tempest to activate the effect. And now he can synchro off with the Ancient Fairy. He can make a Crystal Wing. No, I'm just kidding. But he could make a level 8 synchro here. He could probably go for Stardust. I would imagine it was a really popular level 8 synchro back then. Yeah, he is going to synchro off. Is he going to make Stardust, or is he going to make like Scrap Dragon or Crimson Blader? I actually don't think Crimson Blader was out yet. I could be wrong. I don't think Crimson Blader was out at this time. I know it came out in Cosmo Blazer as a rare. I don't think Cosmo Blazer might have been out, but Cosmo Blazer against Dragon Ruler was just, it was horrendous, man. You got hit by a Cosmo Blazer, you cannot special summon level 5 or higher the next turn. But Redox, having 3,000 defense, is going to ensure that a Crimson Blader, which would only have been at 2,800, is not going to do anything. So I think that's why, you know, him leaving his field the way he had it was a good way to go. Just because, like, it kind of plays around the Crimson Blader. Scrap Dragon will pop the Big Eye and the Redox, so that's actually going to play around a potential Big Eye follow-up on the following turn. And also clear that big body off the field and get in for a little bit of damage with the Scrap Dragon. And the Azure Eyes protection effect is worn off at this point. And he's going to pass back. So far, looking like a really good game. I am a little rusty on what some of these cards do. I am somewhat familiar with Dragon Ruler cards because I remember right when I got back in, my brother was into the Heraldic Rulers, into Mythic Rulers, and so was one of my other very good friends that I actually met because of Yu-Gi-Oh! He played Dragon Rulers a lot. Mythic Ruler especially, right off the gate, until I think he ended up switching to Hat, I think, after that. Because I think the Rulers did get hit again at some point. Just kind of get, like, people off the deck, I guess. Yeah, I think it might have been, like, when the Rulers all got banned collectively, but Yeah, just good old Lone Tempest holding the fort down nowadays. The only other Dragon Ruler that I think could come back would be Blaster, just because like its pitch effect isn't that great when you compare it to Redox, which is a Reborn, and the Title, which is a Foolish Burial. Much better Dragon Ruler cards than that of Tempest and Title. Or Tempest and Blaster. So now we're going to see him banish 2. And he's going to go ahead and summon another ruler, is my guess. But we'll see which rulers he wants to banish. Looks like he's definitely banishing Blaster, so we could add a Fire Dragon. Thinking diligently on what his other banish will be. Going to be either the Tempest or the Title, or in this case, going to be Ancient Fairy Dragon to summon out a Title. That'll trigger the Redox or the Blaster. In fact, I'm getting their names mixed up. It'll trigger Blaster to add a Fire Dragon. He's going to go ahead and search the Flammable Guard. So there's his level 1 tuner to pair nicely with his big level 7 body to access a nice little level 8 synchro. Level 8 synchros were so impactful back then. So good. You know, Stardust Dragon, Scrap Dragon, Crimson Blader. Okay, Colossal Fighter. Speaking of really good level 8 synchros from back in the day, this card is no exception. I actually had to look this one up. It says gains 100 attack for each warrior in the grave, and when it's destroyed by battle instead of the graveyard, you can target a warrior monster in the graveyard, special summon that target. So basically with this card, if it was destroyed by battle, it could just revive itself back, and allowing itself to swing again, which is really strong. Now we're going to see Billy really put on the gas here, going into a rank 7 of his own. Probably not going to be Big Eye here. Might not be able to go for game, so there's really no reason to go for the Big Eye. Going to detach to summon 2 tokens and not get a Colt Wing here. And go ahead and pop a token, pop the Azure Eyes, and Colossal Fighter will crash into Scrap Dragon. Colossal Fighter effect, bring itself back, attacking for 28. So you can just kind of see there the versatility of a card like Colossal Fighter. And beautiful looking super rare. I believe it also comes alti too. And now Dracosack cannot be destroyed by card effects either because it does have a Mecha Phantom Beast token on the field. So really solid here. So now, passing it back to Frazier, we'll see what he can do. It's basically just kind of outgrind, you know, who can ever outgrind the most is going to come out on top, or who can ever kind of just sneak in an OTK if the other opponent cannot kind of like put up a big enough board, I guess, because that can clearly OTK, as you can see. Dracosack is going to be a pop next turn. If he puts up any big monster, Colossal Fighter can crash with it and then bring itself back to hidden for more damage. And a lot of the synchros, like the bigger synchros, like Scrap Dragon and Crimson Blader, they're like 2,800. I don't really think there was any 3K synchros they were bringing out back then. I don't even think Red Dragon Archfiend. Red Dragon Archfiend might have been 3K, but it could also have been 28. I could be wrong. Looks like he is going to summon Tempest now, and of course, banishing 2 more dragons alongside of it. And looks like to banish the Title and the Azure Eyes. That's going to trigger Title effect, and he's going to go ahead and pitch itself and a Whitestone, or pitch itself in a Redox. Not sure what he pitched. Oh, he pitched it off of the Dragon's Ravine. Okay, so pitch it off Ravine, dump Whitestone effect, add a Blue Eyes. So I was like, wait, I thought he was using the Title effect, but Ravine is still on field, proving to be very good, loading up the graveyard some more. He has access to a Title, a Redox, and a Blaster. The nice thing about the Dragon Rulers, they didn't always have to banish dragons. They could just banish monsters that had the same attribute. So Scrap Dragon is an Earth, means he can banish it for a Redox. Or any other like non-dragon monster that matches like either Fire, Earth, Wind, or Water. You can banish it for that respective ruler. So we're going to see him banish Whitestone and Scrap Dragon. And looking to summon out a copy of Redox here. And will he make another Big Eye? Because I wouldn't be surprised if he played 2 Big Eyes. I know another rank 7 that these decks played oftentimes was like Master of Blades. Master of Blades was really good to protect from effects that targeted. I believe it negated and destroyed. Every time I look at rank 7s, I always see Master of Blades, and I always like, this card seems like it could low-key be good, but a lot of times, like, having a card that just outright protects from targeting is very format dependent. So it looks like he's just going to make a Dracosack of his own, get 2 tokens, the Latios and Latios full art tokens. These cards are probably worth a ton of money nowadays if he still has them. But yeah, Master Blade says when a card or effect is activated that targets this face-up card, quick effect, detach a material from this card, negate the activation if you destroy that card. Then you can destroy a card in the field. So it's like protect itself, destroy the card it negated, and then also negate another card too, or pop another card. So format dependent, I would say. And it's also a psychic too, which is cool. So Draco Sack will get its 2 tokens, and he's going to normal summon the Dragoonie to Corsica, and that is going to be a nice level 1 tuner to go to Crimson Blader. And this is where things start to get a little dicey. Draco Sack is going to, the Draco Sack is going to clear the token. Crimson Blader will clear the Draco Sack for 200. And now Billy is under the restriction that he cannot summon level 5 or higher next turn, and that's going to seal the deal, man. And with Crimson Blader in effect, yeah, no surprise there. It is going to be the end of game 1. I mean, Billy could, like, try to clear a token. He could crash with the Crimson Blader, but he can't special summon the Colossal Fighter back, and then the Draco Sack just gets to sit on the board, which is not something you want to leave happen, just because, like, it can be a pop next turn. Like, if he decides to set the White Stone, definitely going downhill from there. So Fraser Smith taking game 1 there. And game 2 is actually in another video, so let's go ahead and switch over to that. All right, so here we are in game 2. And yeah, as we saw that last game, Crimson Blader is a hell of a card, man. And it definitely proved its worth there. Seeing a lot of cool cards. Ancient Fairy Dragon, Big Eye and Draco Sack, man. Colossal Fighter, Scrap Dragon. Really, really love to see these cards in action. Would be really awesome to see him action again at some point in the future. I think Colossal Fighter actually, I know Crimson Blader might be, like, it was getting hyped up because of that Sword Soul deck, because it, like, really, really hurts that deck. It could be wrong though. Let's see how this game 2 plays out though. Billy will set 3 and pass. Doesn't look like the most stellar opening here, but now side deck cards are in play. Trade in, no Ash Blossom to stop. Sacred Sword to 7-star. Banish level 7 to draw 2. Trigger Redox effect to go ahead and add an Earth. And at Earth Dragon. And he'll add another Redox. And we'll see what the move is. I wonder what these back row are here. I wonder if it's Vanity's Emptiness. Vanity's Emptiness has to be in play at this point. Vanity's Emptiness, Max C, 100%. I would have to imagine this in both of these players' side decks, because those cards are insane. Literally just mind-numbingly insane. So we're going to see him activate Ravine. Ravine will pitch the Redox that he basically got to search off of his Pot of Greed resolving. So he's drawn 4 cards already this turn, man. Sacred Sword to 7 stars was a nuts card for this deck. And going to go ahead and dump a Blaster, so getting access to another Ruler. And the Blue Eyes Engraved, just again acting as free fodder. That way he doesn't have to, like, banish both of these rulers from grave to summon one from hand. He can just get rid of the Blue Eyes if he needs to. And we'll see what he does from here. Banishing Blue Eyes. Banishing Title from hand. Go ahead and summon, attempt to summon the Blaster. And there's a DD Crow. So DD Crow will prevent the Blaster from coming out. And Title will activate, though. Still adding a Water Dragon. And that's going to do a great job at shutting down his turn. Setting 2 and passing. And now we're going to see Billy activate Sacred Swords. He will banish the Redox to go ahead and draw. Hoping to fix this. It looks like he drew into a trap. Not really sure which trap it was. And Redox activating to go ahead and add another Redox. Now, it'd be really interesting to see how similar these guys' lists are. But one thing I think that Fraser's on that Billy is not is the Blue Eyes White Dragon engine. With the trade-ins and the White Stones. Well, actually, Billy did draw a White Stone the other turn, so he could be on the same engine as well and just hasn't seen it as much as Fraser has, so maybe almost identical lists. So we're going to see him actually MST a Ravine, which is really good, and it'll pass. Sacred Swords to start off Fraser's turn, drawing 2, banishing Tempest. Activating Tempest effect. No response from Billy, grabbing another Tempest. And now we're going to see him go ahead and pitch a Title off of the Ravine to dump Blaster. And I did see a Vanity's Emptiness in Fraser's deck, so can confirm that card was everywhere at this point and would continue to be everywhere for a decent amount of time. It's crazy how that card was around for so long and was not played up until, I want to say, like 2013. I mean, to be fair, a lot of decks didn't special summon that much. Is that Debunk? Did he just activate debunk? Hold on, I gotta pause. I gotta pause and see. Debunk, man. What a throwback. When a monster effect is activated in the hand or graveyard, negate the activation. If you do, banish it, man. Oh my goodness. What a throwback, dude. What a throwback. Easy side deck card against VW nowadays, but like, what a throwback. So he's still going to get a ton of searches here. He's going to add title and redox. And, yeah, now I can see why Billy did not open up strong. And probably drew into a little too many side deck cards here, it seems like. But at least he's keeping Frazier off of his engine, really. Or at least from, like, actually playing and establishing a board. So Billy's going to go ahead and draw for a turn here. And I would be really upset if he had, like, 2 more copies of debunks. That'd be horrendous. See if he has a play, though. He's going to set one and pass. Oh, no, dude, you hate to see it, man. You really do. This is one of, like, the unfortunate downsides of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes. You just don't draw the cards you need to draw when you need to draw them. You could deck build to, like, a T and still draw a bad hand at some point because there are no decks that don't brick. They just don't exist. Now we're going to see him use Ravine. Ravine's going to dump a white stone, and I think he's using white stone here. I think. Which is weird. I mean, he's cutting deck, but like... Okay, so he's taking a look through his deck. Okay, so I think he still attempted to activate the white stone. I think it might... Yeah, because if he goes ahead and uses white stone, and then he's like, oh, no targets, like he can... the opponent can see the deck to see that there is no targets to make sure it is a, you know, 100% true. Like, that he's not just not activating it because he doesn't want to, because it would ruin a potential strategy he has. So he gets to take a look at his deck there. And I believe in ARGs, you could do note-taking as well, which is one thing that was unique to ARGs, is that you could take notes about, like, if you got to look at your opponent's hand because of Mind Crush or something, you could actually look at your opponent's hand and then write down what cards they had, which is really, really cool. So Title's going to get summoned out now, banishing a White Stone and a Tempest. I don't think he's going to get Tempest effect here, and he's, like, very low on Dragon Rulers at this point. It's crazy. All of this drawing and searching and stuff he's been doing hasn't done anything so far, other than just yield him a title and 1 set back row. But he's going to debunk 2 copies of debunk, man. What did I just say? I really hope that isn't like 3 copies of debunk set, but so far we're 2/3 of the way there. It's forcing him to lose a lot of cards, though. He's got to banish 2 every time, summon from hand, and ouch, man. Ouch. 2 debunk. Neither player getting to play here, but honestly, I want to say Billy's in a much better position than he looks like he's in right now. He just has to draw some engine, man. He's like, his side deck cards are doing a great job of keeping him off playing, but he just needs to see some engine cards, man. Set another one. Come on, man. No, I've felt this before, man. You side in a decent amount, right? You draw way too much side deck cards. You're making it so your opponent can't play at all. And you're like, I just need to draw some engine to capitalize. Please let me draw some engine to capitalize. And then you draw like another side deck card. And then you're like, well, what can I do, right? What can I do? So, Ravine activating, discarding a Redox, dumping a Blaster. So I see 1, 2, 3 Blaster. So that's his last Blaster. I think that's his second Redox. I think he's also probably gone through 2 title. It's got to be very, very low on Dragon Ruler names as it stands. Very, very low. Is this gonna? I mean, I think this is gonna go to a game 3. I would hope that it goes to a game 3. Set 2 and pass. If I would have known any better, I would say we're looking at like a hat mirror match right now, not a Dragon Ruler mirror match. This is something else. Frazier sets 2. Billy finally finding some engine, pitching Dragoonity, Corsica, and Tempest, and he's got a debunk of his own. All right. Is that gonna end his turn? Is that going to end Billy's turn? We'll see. It's the war of the debunks here, man. Checking grave. Checking sets. Frazier has a blue eyes in hand. I'm going to assume that's why he couldn't resolve the white stone the previous turn. He might only play 1 Blue Eyes, 1 Whitestone. I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case, because you can just get Whitestone to the grave so easily off of Ravine, so there's no need to play more. And also, if you just draw it, there's probably other ways to get it to the graveyard. We'll see here. We'll see what Frazier can do, as Billy unfortunately is forced to pass yet again. Dragon's Ravine being pitched, or Whitestone being pitched off the Dragon's Ravine to dump a Tempest, which has to be one of his last Tempests right now. All titles are gone. That's his last Tempest. He has 1 Redox left. Which, no, his Redox is in the grave. He's out of Dragon Rulers right now, I think. Or he might have 1 title. But I think he's like basically out of Dragon Rulers. Summon Blaster. Oh god, this is going to be Blaster beat. At least the one fair thing about the Dragon Rulers, though, was the fact that, like, they couldn't keep beating you down. They did return themselves to the hand at the end of the next turn, which kind of forced you to keep up the resources, or you keep losing cards to having to keep summoning Dragon Rulers over and over again. Yes, some of them did get those effects of you to help recur that advantage to make sure you could summon it again next turn. There's a Dragoonity Corsair, which is going to be an extremely strong normal summon here this late in the game, allowing him to go for a level 8 Synchro. He's looking at Scrap Dragon. I wonder if he's actually even playing Stardust. Stardust seems like it would be halfway decent here. Scrap Dragon seems okay because he can pop Ravine and then pop another card, but he's got Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, ditching, and that beautiful ulti too. Pitching Redox, that's going to go right back to the extra deck. There goes his investment for level 8. And I think he did get in 2,800 damage before he did that, which is good because, yeah, you better get in some damage than no damage. Unfortunately, Billy has to pass it back to Frazier. He's got 2 dragons left in the grave. Just going to go for it. Going to go ahead and summon out the Blaster one more time. And if Billy had another discard trap, it is currently not live because he has no cards in hand. I'm just taking inventory on what is banished right now. Probably checking to see if, again, all his rulers are gone, which I think they are. Swinging for 28. So that's 5,600 damage total from just 2 blaster hits. And can Billy have the heart of the cards here, man? Can he have the heart of the cards? Frazier's got 3 cards left in hand. We know one of them's Blue Eyes White Dragon. Another Dragoonity Corsair. Oh no. Synchro 8. Back to Scrap Dragon. Scrap Dragon effect. Can hit an MST. Okay, really good exchange there. Really, really good exchange. You just chain the MST. And, oh, what? Vanity's Emptiness, and hold up. Return from a different dimension. Oh my god. Holy. An Emptiness leaving because the MST left the field. Wow. That Emptiness was clutch. And there's his own return. Summons back 2. Maxi is chained. What a dramatic turn of events so far. I was not expecting that. It was Chainlink 1 Scrap, Chainlink 2 MST, Chainlink 3 Return, Chainlink 4 Emptiness. Emptiness resolves. Return fizzles. MST resolves. That goes to the grave. Send the Emptiness with it. Wow. Makes a Draco Sack. Clears the Scrap Dragon. And passes to Frazier? Because he gets to draw. I don't think he was done yet. Hold on, I gotta go back. Hold on. This is going a little too quickly here. So he makes Draco Sack. He draws for Draco Sack. Draco Sack effect to pop. Oh, okay, I think he thought he was done with his turn, but he's not done with his turn yet. He's just showing him what his draw was. I would have probably had him shuffle the deck, but at that point, like, I mean, he's drawing a debunk. So he summons the Redox in defense, and he's counting deck count now. Maybe he can't get over this. Tempest effect, search another Tempest. Oh, dude, if Billy wins this one, this is insane. It's literally just a war of attrition now. Like, this is just a resource war, which I don't think Frazier can win. I did not know return was legal at this point. What? Why? I mean, I get why. Like, Dragon Lures banish a ton. Why not have a card like return legal to make him even, like, sell even more? But my goodness. Ravine is going to resolve here. Does he have a ruler in the deck? No, he does not. I saw a Swift Scarecrow there, too. Swift Scarecrow is another reason why you should never make Big Eye in the wrong scenario, because they did play Swift Scarecrow, to prevent OTKs, which was huge. Because if you made Big Eye and expecting an OTK, and they Swift Scarecrowed you, and next turn you literally just lose. Also want to read the text on Swift Scarecrow too. When an opponent's partner declares an attack, discard this to negate the attack. This would also play around Crimson Blader too, because that could prevent Crimson Blader from going in to make it so you couldn't literally play next turn. So really interesting side deck counter there. Now we're gonna see him summon out the Redot or the Blaster, banishing Corsica and the Flamval Guard. Electric Virus. Wow, wow, Electric Virus coming in clutch in the close. My goodness, and for those that don't know what Electric Virus does, this was a hand trap played way back in the day. I think this was also played in, I want to say, Necros format. I think. Basically, discard this card to the graveyard, then target a machine or dragon type monster opponent controls. Take control of that target until the end phase. Literally, snatch steal in this mirror match. And then 28, because Billy's already taken 2 hits from Blaster. So that's 56. 7, yeah, that's, I mean, that's just turbo game. And if it's not game, possible rank 7 play there. Wow, what a turn of events, man. And he literally had nothing. Wow, can we go back to that one chain link here with the Scrap Dragon? I just want to go back to this. I just need to see this again in like normal speed. I need to see this again in normal speed. I know this is a long video, but like for a good reason. And whoever suggested this video, thank you for suggesting it. This was a great match to watch. Whoops. So yeah, look at this chain link here. Scrap Dragon, chain link 1. Pop the Ravine, target the set. It's an MST. Chains MST. Chains DDG, or not DDG. Return from a different dimension. Chain Emptiness. Bro, if he did not have that emptiness, that game would have been over right then and there. Holy cow. Especially with the amount of banished cards he had, he could have summoned back four Dragon Rulers right there. Literally Soul Charge, but better in this case. Oh my god, dude. Insane. That MST and Vanities saved the day. That was nuts. Wow. That was a great feature match. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. And last but not least, a special thanks goes to Cadillacs84, Pony Star, Keith Sidgers, and Daryl Bass, our Divine level channel members. Thank you guys so much for your extremely generous support.